Hello, and we are happy to have you. Welcome to our debate. Our topic is: should African governments invest in creating genomic databases for pediatric cancers, including leukemia, to improve treatment equity? We are Group 4, Team Affirmative. My name is Dr. Advocacy Eliasen from Ghana, and I'm in this group with my brother Fedi Sunday Otieno from Kenya. These are our pictures. You can see our pictures in there. And that's me, Dr. Eric, and this is Fedi. So by way of introduction, we are saying that pediatric cancers are mostly treated effectively with what precision medicine approaches. And this was supported by P et al. 2019. Why these kind of approaches? Because these approaches help to achieve maximum results. So if they help to achieve maximum results, it means databases are indispensable to these precision approaches. We need databases to achieve the desired results. But in Africa, we don't have this kind of databases, and because of that, we are so much underrepresented, and this is supported by Sirigu et al. 2019. And without these databases in Africa, there's a kind of structural gap which brings inequities in diagnosis and treatment outcomes. So in this debate, we argue that genomic databases are essential for equitable pediatric care and treatment in Africa. Our opening statement is that genomic databases are not optional. They are foundational to modern oncology and extension to pediatric oncology in Africa. And according to Landry et al., the current global cancer genomics heavily reflects European ancestry populations. And this results in incomplete biological understanding of African pediatric cancers because we don't have our own data sets, and they are using data sets from European countries and other Western countries. So this more or less will not reflect our African ancestry. And we are saying that without representative genomic data, precision medicine in Africa cannot be truly precise, or we cannot be precise at all because we are not using our own data sets. In this debate, we come out with 4 main arguments to support our stance. And our first argument has to do with clinical accuracy in terms of precision medicine in pediatric care. We are saying that most pediatric cancers, most especially leukemia subtypes, are defined by genetic mutations. And according to Inaba and P 2021, these genetic mutations, they determine the prognosis and treatment response. So if there's lack of African genomic reference data, it can lead to misclassification and suboptimal treatment strategies in Africa. And this directly affects survival outcomes in pediatric oncology in Africa. So investing in genomic dataset is a necessity to ensure that we have maximum results in pediatric outcomes. Our second argument is on treatment equity. According to Popjaw and Fullerton 2016, genomic data sets are disproportionately derived from high-income populations. This creates a global data gap when it comes to precision medicine. So because of this, African children are treated using models that do not reflect their genetic diversity. or do not even reflect their genetic ancestry. And this could result in treatment failures and inefficiencies. And when it comes to equity in healthcare, it requires equity in genomic representation. And this is supported by Marai et al. 2016. Because of this, there's a need for population-specific datasets for Africa. And African governments must do the needful by investing in genomic datasets for pediatric cancers in Africa. Our constructive argument 3 is on health system strengthening. We have been talking about health system strengthening all the time, and we know that genomic infrastructure builds capacity in bioinformatics, pathology, and molecular diagnosis. And this was supported by Adeyemi and Rotimi 2010. Thus, when we invest in creating genomic database for pediatric cancers in Africa, it is health system strengthening and not a waste of money or resources. This will strengthen local research independence and reduce reliance on external datasets, as the case has been. And this supports development of African-led biomedical innovation ecosystem. And so African government should strengthen our African health system in terms of genomic database for Africa. It is not a waste of money. Our third constructive argument is our cost effectiveness. We are saying that without investing in genomic data sets for pediatric cancers in Africa, we will continue to rely on data sets from Western countries, which will continue to lead to misdiagnosis and ineffective treatment, which will increase our healthcare costs and bring about resource strain. So precision medicine approaches improve treatment efficiency and will reduce unnecessary intervention from the outside world. And this is supported by Colin and Famous 2015. So genomic stratification improves allocation of limited oncology resources in low and middle income countries. And this could only be achieved if African governments invest in creating genomic datasets for pediatric cancers in Africa. There is a need, there is a necessity, and African governments must respond by investing heavily in creating such a dataset for Africa to ensure we have effective precision medicine in terms of cancer treatment as we are calling for. Rebuttal. The opponents raise the point about infrastructure not being ready in Africa and other feasibility challenges in terms of creating genomic datasets for Africa. But they also have to know that genomic systems are phased investments that strengthen infrastructure over time. They are not one-time investment, they are phased investment, they are processed and they are periodic. And so when African governments are going to invest in such infrastructure, it will be done one at a time, it will be done gradually. And this was supported by WHO, that World Health Organization 2021. Okay, it's about strategy and having the right motivation. They also argue that it will be too expensive to invest in datasets. Yes, that is true. But the fact that it is expensive, that is mean that it is not doable. Yes, the fact that it's expensive does not mean that it is doable. And the fact that it's not expensive doesn't mean that we should leave our African children to chance. Okay, we need to invest to achieve. Okay, we need to invest in order to gain. Yes, this may appear true at the face value, but the cost of late diagnosis and ineffective treatment far outweigh genomic investment. So we need to invest to have the right outcome. They also argue that basic care is more urgent than investing in genomic infrastructure or genomic data sets. Yes, we need basic care. Yes, people are sick. Yes, people are dying. Yet we need this data set to ensure that we give them the right treatment and the right care. So genomic improves efficiency of basic cancer care rather than replacing it. And this was supported by Collins and Vermos in 2015. So investing in data sets will thus improve efficiency. They also argue about equity concerns, which urban versus rural divide exclusion. These are systemic and structural issues that can easily be resolved through leadership and managerial efficiencies and effectiveness. So our closing statement to this debate is that African children are currently underrepresented in global cancer genomics, and this is supported by Sirigu et al. 2019. This leads to inequities in diagnosis, treatment, and survival. Genomic database directly address this gap by enabling precision, equity, and capacity building. In data sets is investing in equal survival chances for our African children. Our children need us, and so our governments must take the bull by the horn by investing in pediatric databases to ensure we have precision medicine at its right place in the treatment of oncology in Africa. We thank you so much for your attention, and the next slide will reveal our references that supported our argument. Genomic and the rest are here. We are grateful to PAPERI for this opportunity. I'm grateful to you all for also listening to us. Once again, I'm Dr. Eric, and I'm this project with my brother, Fedi from Kenya, and I'm from Ghana. Thank you, and stay blessed.